Alright guys, today we're going to be doing a Picasso face. Now, when we first get started we have to understand a little bit about Picasso and some of his art that he created. So I have this sheet here talking about 3 different categories of art. The first one here is our realistic, and this is where you try to represent something so it's going to look exactly like the thing that you see in front of you. We have abstract, and that's what we're going to be doing. That's when you use your imagination to change something that's real. So you change it and make it different. The other kind of art that we've done in the past is called non-objective. This is where you're just doing lines, shapes, colors, textures you're putting together to make something fun like a design. So let's get started with creating our Picasso face. And we're going to take some of the materials today to do that. And we have some paper. So you should have chosen 3 sheets of paper, 3 colors, and 3 different colors so they can kind of stand out. You're going to have a large background paper. And for the first part, you're going to decide what you want to do for the face. So we want to have 2 different colors. For mine, I think I'm going to do this yellow and purple. So I'm going to kind of stack them on top of each other, and I'm going to do the shape of my head. I'm going to do it pretty large on the piece of paper, so trying to use as much space as I can. You can use a Sharpie or a pencil would be fine today for this first part. So I'm just going to come up and do a shape to fill up most of this area. Cool thing is it doesn't have to be perfectly oval. It can be a little bit off as far as being symmetrical. Next, I'm going to cut out both sheets. So this is very important that you cut out both because we want them to be the same size, because we're going to take away part of it as well. So we're going to line them up on top of each other. We're going to hold it. And I'm going to try to cut through 2 pieces of paper here now. I'm going to put this off to the side, and this is going to be the head. You notice we got 2 of them now, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create this line that's going to give it this Picasso effect. Okay, so I would recommend that you do it with pencil for this. I'm going to do a Sharpie just because if you make a mistake with this part, the Sharpie will be on there. So I'm going to decide, how about I draw it on my yellow so you guys can see it a little better. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line down the middle, and I'm going to try to make a face that's looking this way. So I'm going to come down, do a little practice here before I begin. The nose is going to stick out, and then I'll come back, and then I'll do the lips, and then I'll come back and do the chin here. Okay? So I'm going to come and I'm going to start up here, draw down, this is like the forehead down, and then pretty soon I'm going to get into the nose. It's going to stick out. Come back in. And then we have the upper lip. And then we have the lower lip. And then we have the chin. And then we can just bring it down however you'd like. Down here at the bottom. Okay? So now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cut out this line here right down the middle. But I'm not going to do it with both of them. I'm just going to do it with one of them. All right. So now what I can do is I could take one or the other and put it on top here. I could even go like this. Well, that actually wouldn't work because it's, unless you turn this over here like that. But I don't like it because it's showing through on that part here. So I'm going to turn it over here and kind of just play around with what I like here, what looks good. I think I kind of like this one right here, I think. It's got the purple on this side, and it gives that really interesting look like Picasso would have done. Okay. This part over here, I can use this for scraps, so I'm just going to set that off to the side in a scrap pile. And I'm going to start gluing this down, and then I'm going to start working with the eyes and the rest of the details. How about I do the eyes though first? I can show you how to do those. So I'm going to take white for my eyes, and I'm going to draw, my eyes how I want. So maybe I want an eye looking this way, so I can use this white sheet of paper and just a really simple eye. And you can kind of put them lower, higher. That's the fun part about the Picasso eyes, is you can make them how you want. I can go with this eye, I can make this a little bit different. Maybe this one's just a little bit bigger. Maybe it could be up here or down here. You really can have fun and play around with the location of everything. Makes it really fun. Okay. Details as well. We're going to get into the middle part. So you could do a colored eye if you'd like. We will add paint at the end, add a lot of those little details that you want. And that'll really kind of spice it up at the end to give it kind of a painting look. Alright. I could put the middle part, I could put a circle in the middle. Alright guys, for today, for the rest of the day, I want you to work with the rest of the head, working with the eyes and a lot of the details there. And then if you have some time with some of those scraps, you could start working with the top parts. You could start doing the hair and put some of the details in. Alright guys, for the second part here, we're going to put in the neck and then maybe the top part of the shirt here. So the first thing you have to do is kind of situate everything. And I want to put a neck in there, so I might use some of the scraps that I had left over. Maybe since I have a yellow left over, I'll use my yellow. And basically what I want to do there is just kind of add in, cut it how you want. You can make it a rectangle. I kind of like that. I could actually place that underneath here before I glue. If I've already glued it, then I might have to cut it there. And then you'll take that other sheet of paper, and we're going to make the rounded shoulders here. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here, and I'm going to come up and around. And, I always want to cut it a little bit bigger, just in case it doesn't fit. I can always cut it down. So I kind of like that. I might just take off a little bit more though. Alright, so I could put it there. And now after this part, you can kind of decorate it now. You can make it how you want. And then the final step, once we get to it, is going to be some outlining with some paint. And putting some fun details in there. You could put a pocket, you could write something here, a name. You could do a lot of fun things with this abstract art. You could even make them turn in their heads. It's really fun to play around with the head to make them kind of silly and interesting and fun. Alright guys, good luck.